In this lesson, we're continuing the chain rule, just now bringing in also our trig functions. So I put these two side by side for us to see the difference. So again, chain rule, right? We have our composite function where we start outside, work our way inside when finding derivatives. So like here, notice what is our f of x? What is our outside function? Well, that is sine. So here we have sine of x, because our inside, our g of x function is x squared, versus here, notice the difference. How f of x, our outside function, is no longer sine, because sine is being raised to the second power. So now this is x squared. And the inside function, what is being raised to the second power? Sine. Sine is what's being raised to the second power here. So notice that difference here. But we'll continue. So again here, what is the derivative of sine? Cosine. So this is cosine of x, but remember, right? Cosine of x squared. Then times the derivative of our inside, x squared, which is 2x. Now you could rearrange this so you have your coefficient in front, and here's our derivative. So then same thing here. Derivative of our outside function is 2 times x, or 2 times sine of x. Then times the derivative of our inside function, which is sine. So in this case, derivative of sine is cosine. So notice the difference between these two functions and that placement of that exponent. So now let's go ahead and continue. So again, we are finding the derivative of our cotangent first, cotangent x, followed by the inside function, which is 2x. So notice we're starting out and working our way in. Derivative of cotangent is cosecant squared, but cosecant squared of 2x. Then times the derivative of 2x, which is 2. Then again, if you want to rewrite so that your coefficient's in front, here's our derivative of our function. So here, our outside function, we're starting with natural log of x, because then our inside function, our g of x here, is secant x. So the derivative of natural log first, right? Then go inside. Derivative of natural log is 1 over x, which is secant x. Then here times the derivative of secant, which is secant times tangent x. Now, notice there is some simplifying here, because this is secant x times tangent x over, because this is times 1 over secant x, because notice what cancels out. Secant divided by secant. So we are just left with tangent x. Then last here, our outside function, f of x, is cotangent. So here's our f of x function, and our g of x, our inside, is sine. So the derivative of cotangent is cosecant squared, but cosecant squared not just of x, right? Of sine of x, times the derivative of sine, which is cosine. And this is our derivative. So go ahead and pause the video now and try these 3 U-tries on your own. And here we go. So again, here you should have started with the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine of not just x, right? Tangent x. Then times the derivative of tangent, which is secant squared x. That is our derivative. Then here we've got our inside, our outside, e to the x. That's what you should have started with. And g of x, your inside function, is sine of x. So here, derivative of e to the x, so that's just e to the, so sine x, times derivative of sine, which is cosine x. And last here, we're starting off with our outside f of x function, which is derivative of sine, followed by our inside function here, 5x squared plus 11x. Derivative of sine is cosine, so cosine of 5x squared plus 11x. Then times the derivative of our g of x inside function, which is 10x plus 11.